assumed
show
it was.
while you're talking about that.
Yeah, I sent it in the spicy chat. I found it.
Me video that you sent.
It's in the spicy chat. It was Tuesday because there's that urinal pic where it's like, I own an air fryer. The one right
Oh
above it.
yeah, I watched it just to scroll through because I saw you had a blue mic.
Yeah, I just watched it to scroll through. I was just
A
because
lot of
Margaret was talking
people,
about,
a lot of people like to shit on blue mics, which is a very interesting thing.
which is weird. I knew nothing of mics, but when I started like noticing and like, oh man, they have pretty good audio. It's like, I wonder if they use a blue, and everyone was just like, yeah. When I was like first starting out,
That's what a
I
lot of
haven't
people
used
say,
blue
and I don't
forever.
understand. I mean, I get nothing but compliments on the like. Obviously, it's VoIP for our podcast, so it isn't as clear as if
Yeah,
we were in person. But like, I just don't understand why people shit on blue so hard because they're like, "Oh, it's overpriced. This is that." It's like, okay, but it's good for. It's not like they're crazy overpriced. Like they're not the what's the cost of those Shure mics? Like 350 or
oh yeah, and like it's not a
400?
Shure mic, and like the one that I was looking at is like 250, and it's an XLR and a USB, so it's like, yeah, it's just,
Yeah, so I just don't understand why
yeah, I don't
people
know.
shit on them
It's
so hard.
just, yeah, like you said, I mean, they're not expensive. They're not cheap by any standards, but still, the ones that we started with, the snowballs,
Yeah,
they were like, you
those
could
are like
probably
20
get them
bucks.
on sale for $50. And then I think what did we pay for ours?
The the snowballs were like 25 maybe, like 20 $25 at most.
Yeah, so it was just like it's even less than that. So it's like the only reason why we upgraded is because we liked the option to change the output of everything, and
Yeah,
then having your headphones in to
to monitor your
monitor your
sound.
voice and like the
Yeah.
gains and stuff like that. But other than that, it was just like it was a great mic.
A lot of
It
people,
was
and
a great mic.
I never understand. A lot of people like or don't like wearing headphones whenever they do podcasts. Like, I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of people always comment on it, like they either they like wearing headphones or they don't like it. I don't understand why people don't like wearing headphones. They're like, oh, I hate the sound of my voice, and it's like, well, you kind of have to learn to like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, I get like, I used to be like that all the time. When I did my first 365 on YouTube, it was just like, is that what my squawk box sounds like? Oh God. And then eventually you just like, you hear it enough that it doesn't, I'm not affected by it.
It doesn't
I'm
register.
still on the, I'm still on the hunt for like a nice pair of giant headphones over the ear. I guess I could use my gaming ones, but they don't translate well for like talking, if that makes sense. Like their gaming headphones, so they're designed more for gaming and like gaming sounds, but like just
Yeah.
us talking back and forth.
No,
I tried it.
I
It
know what you
doesn't.
mean because I mean I use my gaming ones and
Yeah.
it would sound a lot clearer. The important thing is the sound that the mic picks up isn't going to be exactly what comes to your headphones.
Yeah.
So I take a little bit of comfort knowing that if anything, my audio comes through better than your audio does because I record it to my
Yeah.
PC,
You
so it's
record it and
going
it goes straight into
directly here.
yours.
So it's
Yeah. So
mine might sound a little bit clearer just because of that.
yeah. But
But
yeah,
a lot of people shit on blue, and I don't understand it. I think it's
yeah, like
unwarranted.
kick rocks.
I think it's unkind. But you
Yeah.
sent a video to our group chat with the Wonder Twins because Marco was thinking about getting a new mic, and this guy reviewed a bunch of them, and I tried one of those mics before I got this one because I've got us both the same mic for Christmas last year.
Not this last one, the previous one, the
Yeah, before we
2018
took
to
this
2019,
quarantini.
right? 2019 to 2020. Yeah, the
Yeah,
2019
because
2020 Christmas.
we were like a month into the
Yeah.
podcast, and I was like, oh, I'll just do this. But mine ended up breaking, so that was sad. Then I got this sweet setup, but I tried one of those before I got this when I was still using that blue when we first started doing these quarantini podcasts, and it had like the little itty bitty baby stand, little pop filter, little mic cover to silence the hard P's, and I didn't much care for it. Like I felt like the quality of it, like not necessarily the sound or anything, because the sound was fine. I mean, it was annoying because it was down below. So like if I like touched anything, it would pick
Yeah.
up. But like right now, I'm like touching my desk, but since it's on its little shock mount along with the boom arm, it doesn't pick up. I just feel like blue is a lot more when you grab it and you hold it, it's like it has a good weight to it. It feels like if I drop it, it's not going to break.
That's true. I mean, I feel like a lot of the things what people forget about is like the construction quality. I mean, it's not like metal, but it's like between hard plastic and aluminum. Like the body of it's aluminum, I think, and then the little knobs are plastic, but they're like, at least on mine, they're like colored to like look like metal, which still,
Yeah.
I mean, it makes usually when it's like, oh man, you pick this up and it's kind of heavy, it's like, oh yeah, I'm assuming this heft to be like more expensive, but
Yeah.
like the
And I mean,
plastic
like,
things are just like,
I believe the only difference, so there's only one, there's only one difference between every of like all of the models. So the blue snowball is just the one condenser
yeah,
facing right at you. Can't adjust anything. Can't hear it as it's coming back. So you can't hear your voice as you're talking. And then there's the mini, which is this one's baby sibling, and that one's just like this one, but you can only control the volume, and it has two condensers. I believe it has one at the one with the red dot above the logo, and then one directly behind it. And then this one has four, and then it has the Omni setting and the gain setting. And then the Yeti X. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. That one's the
no,
big boy. That one's their flagship. So that one's supposed to be the one that competes with the Shure mic that everyone uses. That's the XLR with the big old cord in it.
yeah.
But that one is still, I think that one's both. You can use that with the cord in it, or you can use it USB. So it's like this one, but it has the options for both instead of this one's only USB. But I believe they're an American company, aren't they? I
I'm
say that
gonna
as
say
I'm
yes.
looking
I
it
don't
up.
know. I mean, I know sure or however you say it, is a European. They're like based in Germany.
I'm gonna see, but that Yeti X isn't that much more expensive. But they were talking about the new Yeti X and saying that it's gonna have a new directional knob thing, and part of me is like, how it already does back and forth all around the butt shape for you talking, and then I'm like, what other dimension are you trying to are you trying
The
to pick up
fourth
here?
dimension, we
You can
can talk to
smell
dead
the
people.
audio.
Smell smelly. How do you do that?
Smell audio.
Smell audio. Smellicious. I don't know. I can't. It's too difficult. Can't be done.
I'm not exactly sure what. Oh,
Yeah, I don't
so
know.
it'll have looks like high res LED metering, so you'll be able to see on the mic if it peaks or not. So like if I were
That's
to get
fancy.
really close to the mic right now, like this close, and then just start talking in a normal volume, it would peak, and then that's when like you can hear it in your headphones when it
Yeah, you can
peaks,
hear it in the headphones. And you can like.
and you get blue voice effects and
Can I
customizable
sound?
LED lighting. How's that?
Can I sound like RoboCop or Optimus Prime?
I don't have one. If you buy one, you can let me know. And actually, I was wrong. It is still only the USB.
Oh,
You would think it would have the thing in it because
yeah.
why
I was
not?
like, yeah, I just thought about that Shure one because it was like cheaper on their list of things, but it's also a USB and then XLR. So it's like
But
eventually we are going to be transforming to a
the
like
XLR.
the XLR, but like the little input thing we need for it once COVID and all the restrictions are done. We can go back to doing this every weekend or whatever. But yeah, it's just like it's great to have because it's an XLR. So when we have that, we don't have to like spend $250 on like a new mic and then get rid of it and then another 250 on like an XLR mic.
Yeah, and that's what we're really saving up for all of our stuff for is that leap from USB mic to XLR because there's a surprising amount of stuff that you need to
Yeah, I didn't think about
do
that.
that
I was
one
like,
hop.
well, why can't we get a good one? Oh, well, you need the big XLR. Well, what the fuck is
Well,
that?
because it's like you need to buy the mic. The cords cost $30 each. The box to plug the cords into costs that's just as much as the mic is.
Yeah.
So it's like if the mics are if a good mic starts at 200 and like the top of the line that every like major podcaster uses is 400 per mic, then it's like Jesus.
Yeah, just like, oh God, it's so much. But yeah, I don't know. It's just those things that you don't think about until you talk to someone that's in that field. That's like, oh yeah, his setup is like $10,000. It's like he just has two mics in a little box.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, his box lights up. It looks like a fucking bop it.
I'm not sure. I've been trying to find out where the Blue company started, and every time I type in Blue, it's like Blue mics. It's like people having issues with it, like the mic not picking up. And I've never had that issue. That wasn't
Yeah,
user based. Like when I fucked
yeah.
up.
I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. All the fuck ups I've had are the ones that you've diagnosed on stream or right before we're doing this.
I thought you were gonna say that you have done. I was gonna say,
No.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, it was just like when I thought I had the mic on, but it wasn't. So there was two episodes where it was just using the computer mic and not
That was awesome.
actual. And just recently the start of this one where you told me to put it to the butt one and then turn the flashing light or the solid light to myself. So yeah. Again, this is just user error, and I'm pretty sure it's user error because it's just I don't know.
So apparently they're owned by Logitech. Didn't know that.
Oh, I don't know that.
So I wonder if they were acquired or just started. Either way, then that means that they're American based, so it's worth the extra little bit of money instead of going on Amazon, spending $30 for one of these Chinese take your jobs away mic.
That was drastic in a different direction.
I pivot. You got to keep up.
That's not what I thought was going to happen.
I have a weird thing lately, not with Chinese cheap mics, but with American products. I've actually been going out of my way, like we were talking with coffee. We both drink, well, you drink Black Rifle Coffee Company, and I started drinking it, and I was like, it's kind of worth it considering you know who the owners are because they've shared their statement. You know what they're about. You know what they do. You know they donate a lot of their money and a lot of their products. So when it comes to like certain things, I'd rather buy American instead of the other way. Part of me kind of wants to buy an American car just because it's American because I already have a Toyota.
Because I have two, and that's kind of the exact opposite. Yeah, I'm for the most part, I'm in that. I would rather purchase American things. The problem with American things is that they outsell it to other countries like China or India and stuff like that. Then it comes back. But also it's just like somewhere along the line, America lost its like built in America standard where it's like this is the best because America made it, and now it's just like piece of shit. I bet it was made in like America, and you look on the bottom and it's like probably manufactured in the US, and it's like this piece of shit toy, and you're just I don't want to. But same thing with Black Rifle. It's just like some things I don't mind buying that are an American thing, but it's just for the most part, America just stopped caring.
That's definitely what it seems like, and it makes me kind of sad because I would love to buy an American car if they weren't total ass. So I'm fine.
Yeah, like American car would be awesome, but when I had it, it had nothing but problems, and now that I have a Toyota, it's just like I have no problems with it.
Yeah, with like all my foreign cars, I've never had an issue. So
yeah,
kind of makes it hard to be like, okay, well, I'm going to switch now, especially when there's a car dealership on the route that I run, and it's a Jerry Seiner, like Kia GMC, I think it's Kia GMC, and Buick. That's what it is. So apparently Buick still makes cars.
Yeah, they have those commercials where the lady like, I hate them. It's like they get hit in the head with a fucking pineapple or something heavy that they just don't. They're just like, Becky, is this a Buick? I can't find you. What car? I'm in the Buick. I can't. I don't see it. I don't see it. And then they get inside. It's like, wow, this is a Buick.
What
This
kind
is
of a
a
dick says that, by the way? Like, what car are you in? Oh, I'm in a Honda.
yeah.
That
It's just
doesn't
like
help me.
it's just like you should already know what kind of car I drive, dumbass.
Well, it's
It's
like
just like
not only that, but why wouldn't you just say, "Oh, I'm in the silver SUV"?
yeah. It's just like I don't. I mean, I've hated Buicks for a long time. They're just
I still hate them.
same thing with all the new. I mean, we're still on the American tangent, but like American cars just haven't been built. Like they don't have the same cool, sexy, sleek lines as like other cars. Corvette recently, I think they got. I don't know if they still have the Corvette name or if it's just the C9, the newest Corvette. It doesn't look like a Corvette. It doesn't have
I'm
like
not a
the
big
skinny
fan of it.
front
I've
and the
seen it.
fat ass. It like has these European lines
Sounds
on it.
American to me.
It looks like a Ford GT, just like the angles on it like that if you want to compare it to an American car. But it's just like
I'm not a fan
before
of
that,
those new Corvettes, or I think it's really
I
just
like them because they
because
don't have the fat ass on them.
I just I just don't. They're too sleek to be called because they're supposed to be an American muscle car.
Yeah.
And so I like that doesn't look like an American muscle car. You want an American muscle car. The new Dodge minivan Hellcat. That's an American muscle car.
That'd be tight.
That's the greatest thing. Have you seen them yet?
No, I haven't. I didn't know. I'm like, I know this one person I followed did a Hellcat swap on his Jeep, and it's so sick.
So let me. I'm gonna try to pull it up.
But
But
yeah, so it's
I
just
I believe they. Let me keep going.
oh, I was just like, I don't know. It's just like even with my when I had my car, it was just like very basic interior. It wasn't the entry level. It was like the mid tier or whatever car of it. But like the Cobalt had a plastic interior, had manual windows, manual locks. It had AC, and that was about it. And I'm like, this is supposed to be an entry level car, but then when you compare it to like a Kia or a Honda, where it's like, dude, the same price you could pay for that, you could have got this plus this and a sunroof for the same thing as this American car that's just like, yeah, we share parts with Saturn Ion. It's just like, but back to the Buick thing. Buick makes this. Do you like wagons?
Actually, yes, very
Okay.
underrated. I love the look of them.
I love wagons. I'm assuming it's because we lived in Germany for so long because there's wagons are, but Buick has this like wagon. I'll see if I can find it and send it to you about it so you can show it everybody on the thing. But it's just like that right there. I was like, that's kind of cool. I don't think I would get it, but it looked a lot nicer than I thought it would.
Trying to figure out um, how to even like phrase it because I keep putting in Dodge minivan Hellcat and it keeps bringing me the Durango.
I didn't know they still made the Durango.
I want to say it was Dodge because everybody's over here talking about, oh well, how are we going to get better performance? And then these crazy bitches decide to throw a Hellcat engine into it into a minivan,
Whoa, you dumb bitch! You throw a big ass V8 in
which that's like the greatest American. I don't even know a
It's
more
the
American
coolest thing
thing.
ever. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Dodge, people hate on Dodge. I really like the way they look. Um, but like the Chargers for a long time have been really sick. They like look really nice. Almost like I don't want to say a sleeper car, but they like don't look as aggressive as like other cars and they kind of change enough where it's still, it's a Dodge Charger, but it just doesn't have the same like body style like Corvette or not Corvette. The Camaro has that weird front end on it that I don't really like.
Yeah,
Mustang right now is looking okay for a while. I mean, for a long time, like 2000s, they had the retro bring back of like the 65-ish Mustangs looking like smooth, rounded square edges that looked kind of stupid. Uh, but like I feel like if I had enough money, I would put my money towards Dodge if I was gonna buy like an American, not supercar, but like an American sports car. But like the Challenger's pretty badass. You get the Hellcat Charger, and you can probably find. When was the last year they stopped making Vipers? Because they stopped them.
Oh God, that trash heap. Don't buy a Dodge Viper.
I loved the Vipers. I thought they were just like the coolest.
They are the literally the most irresponsible American car you can have. You're putting 1,000. It's like 800 wheel horsepower.
Yeah.
So it pushes over 1,000. And so
Ideally,
that's and it's rear wheel drive. And isn't the engine in the back?
I was like, I don't know how the newer ones are, but ideally it would be best to have like a 90 to like 93 when it was like 800 to the back wheels and it had no traction control. So it was literally just you wrapping it around the tree every time you get behind the wheel.
That's what I mean. Of like, you take a turn, you can't. It's like a motorcycle. You can't hit the brakes in a turn, or you're gonna just swing out.
Yeah. No,
But,
it was
so who owns Chrysler?
Fiat.
So apparently,
I think it was during the last buyout because they're like, I think I'm not 100%.
So because it's everyone's talking about a Chrysler Pacifica Hellcat, and for whatever reason, I thought it was
still a part of Dodge.
Probably, yeah. So I was like, why would they take a Dodge? So essentially, I'll pull it up on the screen, and it hasn't been in production or anything, but there's talks about it, and it looks like the coolest shit.
Does it have captain seats? And oh my god, even the front of it looks cool.
The front of it looks.
I'm not too keen on the metallic Smurf color, but
blue. They don't have the interior because it's just the rendering of this is what they should make it like. What do they have here? So this is just I think this is that.
I think it's just the interior of the current one.
That's just a standard interior, but it would have captain seats for the middle two, and then bucket for the back three.
That's so nice.
I know, it looks so great, but I've also actually kind of wanted a minivan. I like minivans, especially newer minivans. But what is the most American thing you can do is have a minivan and throw a 700 horsepower engine into it. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard.
It's true. That'd be so bitching.
It's like in HBO's Ballers.
I was just gonna say that. Like that's the reason why I started liking minivans is when he like just gave up or he stopped doing football. Then he became a car salesman and then owned a minivan. His wife tricked out his minivan, and I was like, that shit looks pretty tight.
But have you seen a lot of the Ram T-Rex? I haven't paid attention to those a lot. It's supposed to be the competitor to the Ford Raptor, so it's like the Ford Raptor is just a pumped up F-150. The Dodge T-Rex is just TRX. The Dodge or the Ram T-Rex is just a Ram 1500, and then so it's just their Ram 1500 but souped up. And I don't know what one I like more. They're both very. I think the T-Rex is a little bit stronger. It's a 6.2 liter supercharged V8.
That being, if you just said that, then yes, because I like Raptors. The newest version of them, they got rid of the V8 because they're doing like that whole eco thing, and it's like it's a V4 turbo or something like that. Because Jessica's dad has one. He doesn't have a Raptor, but he has a 150 that he said that they switched the motor over to like the eco-friendly thing, which I thought was weird, but it still has power to it. It's just a lot smaller of an engine. So it was just like, but that being said, I still prefer the way the Raptors look over other trucks. And I want one of those. That would be a tight car to have.
Let me see if I can pull up 2021 Ram TRX. Because, I mean, if you're going to get a car like that, why would you care about fuel? That's like saying you want your Lamborghini to have 12 cylinders but only run on 4 when you're in the city.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just part of Ford's is like, we're still catering to you guys, but we also want to be like the best in class service kind of shit like that.
Yeah, I just don't understand people's way of thinking when it comes to that. I mean, this to me looks just as good. So I mean, it still, you could tell that it's a Dodge. It has the kind of like the, you can
Yeah, it has
see
that
that
Dodge front
the
end.
Raptor looks a little bit like an F-150. You can see this looks like a Dodge 1500. I'm
Yeah.
not even that much into trucks, but this thing just looks mean on the. So it's 702 horsepower, 4.5 0 to 60, and then I mean, I don't care about the pounds foot of torque, because I'm not a car guy like that. But it's just awesome to me. Here, give me one sec. So
And
I would rather have the. I mean, it's not like I can afford either of them, but I like the TRX. I think I like the TRX a lot more than the actual Ford Raptor. Not sure why. I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, if Ford does get rid of that supercharged V8, it's like, what? Why? Like, then what's the
yeah, that
point?
was
You basically have an F-150 EcoBoost.
yeah, that's what the big uproar against it was. Like the first gen has the V8, and the second gen, like I said, went to that EcoBoost that you said, and people were just like, "Why the hell would you do that? This is the Ford Raptor. They do it's like the Baja truck race that they can modify it to use that. You
Mm-hmm.
can use it for rock crawling and this and that. It's like we understand that it takes more gas because of what we're doing. We're okay with that. This is a small enough market where you can make this truck and people will still buy it because
Yeah.
they sell like the Ford also has is it the Super Snake? And then they have a Roush uh
Yeah.
variants of the trucks, and they're both speed ones. They have separate engines in them that are catered towards that, where it's like, okay, it's a race truck and it uses a different engine than the EcoBoost one. That makes sense because it's a higher end truck. It does this and
Yeah.
that, and it's just like, but why does the Ford Raptor have the Eco? We're just wanting to understand your logic,
Yeah.
and it just, are we missing something?
It's like here, I think now, like, so many people liked the Ford Raptor that they're like, okay, but now people are buying it because they like the body style. So let's slowly like do half F-150s, half Raptors. 'Cause
Yeah,
people like, and it's like, okay, but the only reason Ford Raptors are cool because it's a 6.2 liter F-150.
yeah,
That's the only
that's
reason
cool.
it's
Yeah, it's
cool.
just like people in Florida that like they sell Jeeps across the country. They sell Jeeps everywhere, but you can buy them in like Florida and other. You could probably even buy them here where they're like two-wheel drive instead of four-wheel drive,
Can
and it's
you?
just like you buy a Jeep because you want the four-wheel drive feature, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay, well, it's cheaper. I'm like, yes, it is cheaper, but it's not the same thing.
yeah. I'm like,
It's not what
that's
Jeep's
not a
known
Jeep
for. It's not
then.
Jeep's not known for a two-wheel drive car. It's just
You
like,
drive like, can you think of a more overpriced vehicle than a Jeep? Because a Subaru, actually, those things are tanks in the snow, which
yeah,
is like you don't go to California and see a Subaru really.
yeah,
You see, but like when you go to like Colorado over here, northern Arizona, you see Subarus, or out east you see Subarus because they're tanks in the snow. They're actually worth the price. But a Jeep is like you're saying, like you can get a four wheel, you can get a two wheel drive Jeep. It's like, why would you get a two wheel drive Jeep that's only like a couple grand less than a four wheel drive?
yeah. It's just like
You're
I
already
just
wasting
I've
gas.
never
You're already
understood.
wasting the gas.
Yeah, I'm like I've never understood that because when you sell it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's not a four wheel." Okay, thanks. Good luck trying to sell it. I don't want. Why the fuck
Yeah,
would you?
I don't understand it. I don't
Yeah,
understand
it
that.
was just like I mean, every time I think about it, there was a when I used to listen to the Zoo every morning. What's his name? Frankie lived out in Florida for the longest time, and he said that he bought a Jeep and he bought the two-wheel drive because it was cheaper and stuff like that. But he went on a date to the beach and drove his Jeep on the beach and it got stuck. And the lady's like, "Oh, it's a Jeep. It has four-wheel drive." He's like, "I didn't get the four-wheel drive variant." It was just like, and that was our first and last date. So it was just like,
I yeah, I don't understand the
I don't
thought
understand why
process of
you
that.
would. That's like I bought the Ferrari, but I bought like the shell of it. It just has like
I bought a four-cylinder Ferrari.
it's my Ferrari, but it has a an SS engine from my like
Or
Saturn Ion.
do you remember those body trims you can get? So you can get like a Honda Civic, but get like a Ferrari body trim.
Oh
So
yeah,
like it
it's
would
just
still
like dumb
look like
shit
a
like
Honda
that.
Civic, but have like the lip and the side skirts of a Ferrari.
Yeah, it's just like dumb
Remember when those were popular, and then
dumb
Walmart sold
beaner shit.
spinners?
They just sold them everywhere.
Yeah, it's I don't know how we got this isn't a car show, but we certainly went off on a tangent of how stupid trucks are now.
Yeah.
But today we're going to be talking about Ninja's insane internet setup, and then apparently Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling hasn't been beaten to death by the alphabet people. Then a couple days ago, a UK scalping group used a loophole to get an F ton of PS5s, and Tesla's new Model S is shaping up to be probably one of the best electric cars to ever exist. And then Zack Snyder's Justice League has its own HelloFresh box. That's the best way.
It's the Gotham box.
I really just want to start with the Gotham box because it is the most. I don't know what to call it because
It's a feast.
It's
for your
it's
4-hour, 8-hour, 4-hour movie.
Yes. So, and it also finally, by the way, got a time and like a launch date on HBO Max. We'll go over that in a minute. So this thing is everybody's doing now a, how do I say it? Rather than do like a giant screening where they would have it catered, the actors there, paparazzi there. People are actually getting pretty smart and doing. It looks like a HelloFresh box. Like it comes with all the with everything already pre-made. They're pre-made meals, and you just warm it up. So it's gonna be weird. Somebody like a chef spends an hour making the perfect lasagna, and you just fucking nuke it in a microwave.
You nuke it and then cover it with like ketchup and shit.
Well, because think about it, like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
because
that's what.
The reason people don't use ketchup on fries in a fancy restaurant is because they don't want to get judged. Everybody eats ketchup with fries.
Yeah, it's just like when you go to a fancy restaurant, you don't see salt and pepper and ketchup on the table because that the chef makes the food a certain way, and the best way that they think it should be eaten is that way. And it's just like, you're gonna ruin my fucking dish by putting ketchup on it.
Exactly, and that's what's gonna happen with all these. It's a smart idea for like business wise for restaurants to do that. I know it's been really popular in LA with the restaurants being shut down and whatnot, but it's been described as a first of its kind immersive at-home dining experience for customers. So that's the biggest difference here is rather than this, because before the studios would do that with the launch, like with Wonder Woman, they did that with the whole cast and crew of Wonder Woman is they sent them like this kind of thing from a restaurant. They just sent this, like this, they asked everybody what they wanted. And if like everybody got, like if everyone wanted steak, everyone would get their steak made the same way, all that kind of stuff. But this is so like you could buy it and watch the Justice League movie. So I'm not exactly sure. Like apparently the meal kits are designed to resemble the film's. What's a MacGuffin?
I don't know.
I mean have you seen it? Is it out? Not the Snyder one. Wasn't there? Didn't a version already drop? And this is
the version already came out.
Yeah, did you watch
it
that
in theaters.
version?
Yeah.
Was it? So then you should know what the hell this is, right?
I have no idea what. Unless it's like some kind of weird sacred symbol that was on the thing. I watched it in theaters. It was a while ago.
Yeah, I know it came out a while ago.
But yeah, I mean they probably have references towards it. I mean it's $130. It better come with everything under the damn sun, including a digital download.
For 2 people. If you have 4 people, it's $260.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to pay like $300 for me and my kids to eat this.
By the way, why wouldn't you just get 2 kits for 2 instead of 1 kit for 4? Because then you can have 2 cool boxes.
That's true, unless there's. Never mind. I was like, unless they have some kind of cap on, but I doubt that they have that.
Well, it's like. Yeah, I'd rather just get 2 meals for 2 because then I can just get a really cool box or 2 really cool boxes. I mean, the boxes look cool, but
what what comes in the mail?
So inside will be a variety of Justice League adjacent food, whatever that means. By the way, Ocean Trench. Like... So the Ocean Trench appetizer for Aquaman, consisting of Icelandic cod and chips with trench dressing. That. Sounds so sexual. So sexual. Jason Momoa's dressing is what you're going to be eating with your fish and chips.
Trench dressing.
And then the Big Belly Burger for the Flash, alluding to the fictional DC Universe burger joint. That's so
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I
so
I picked
vague.
up
That's like
that one. It's
saying,
just like,
have you seen that cutscene at the end of the first Avengers where they eat at that falafel shop?
yeah,
That's like if Marvel were to make this and say it's a falafel, from the Avengers.
that was
Why?
just like the random thing. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
It's not like it's a widely known thing. Big Belly Burger is big in the DC universe.
yeah, I'm like, if you watch a lot of like the CW, they talk about it, like the Flash there, and it's on that, and it's in comics and stuff like that. But again, like you said, it's like, I don't know what this is. I'm just watching the stupid movie, and you're telling me this is essentially a Five Guys of the DC universe. Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, this is just it's like HelloFresh, but the meal's already there. They're gonna have something for Superman, something for Wonder Woman, and like other snacks. And then they're also gonna include beer and Jitters cold brew. I assume that's coffee.
Yeah,
And
that's the coffee from DC Universe again.
see, like at least that one because like it's not that vague. Like, oh, this burger joint, probably from the
Yeah.
Flash TV show that nobody watched.
Yeah, so it's just like, I mean, I knew what that one was, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's like those movies that or those cookbooks that are like, these are all the or this is the traditional or the dishes from said movie. You could buy like the Lord of the Rings cookbook or like the Harry Potter cookbook, and it's like, this is what they ate in the movie in this scene right here, and you can make the same exact meal for you and your family. And it's just like,
The last time I went to Disneyland, I had that's when Beauty and the Beast came out. Whenever that was, so long ago,
wow,
like
that was a long time ago.
2015. The live action Beauty, yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
like 2015 was
it
the
was
last
like,
time. So
yeah, it was a while ago.
Jesus, that is so long ago. I live a sad life. And it's like the song where it's try the gray stuff. It's delicious. I tried
Yeah.
that, and it wasn't that delicious. That French man lied. I should have known.
It's Ian McGregor that lied to you.
Fuck him.
don't
Anakin should
say
have
that.
finished him. He should have
You don't
finished him.
say-
Benito. Instead, he took mercy on that poor potato.
Well, he
Ian
didn't have
did
any
to-
legs or another arm. He was essentially a stump. So I assumed if I would have done that, I would assume that you would have been dead too.
So the Snyder Cut is going to drop on HBO Max on March 18th. So a little over a month. Then you can watch it because you have HBO. I don't know if they're going to charge for it.
I think it's free. I think that's what HBO is doing
I assume
this
it
year.
would
Is like
be.
the 21 films or whatever. They're all going to be like on HBO for free for at least a month, and then they're going to go to like not syndication, but they go to theaters, and then you can buy them and rent them through iTunes and stuff like that.
I honestly, so if like we've talked about before, if a movie ticket costs $15, charge me $40, and for a movie like this, just charge me $40 or $50 if you're to say like something like that, where probably $40 more like is what they would charge, but to rent it at home, because I would rather pay a little bit more than ticket price to see it at home. I understand directors don't like it because they're like, but I shot it for the silver screen. Tough shit. Nobody's going to theaters.
Tough shit.
Nobody has
There's
gone to
COVID right now,
theaters
dumb
for-
bitch.
Well, nobody's how like theater sales have been steadily declining. That's no surprise to anybody. And I understand like people are. You can make the argument that they should always make it for the silver screen because there's always going to be people who go to movie theaters. People who go now. People go on Christmas and Thanksgiving. They're fucking weird. But to say that, like to throw a bitch fit because, oh, but I wanted it to be in theaters first. That's not how this works, man. I paid you. I need to make my money back.
We're past that. I mean, I like
this
going
isn't
to
for
the
the
movies,
love of the
but
game.
yeah, this is times are changing, dude. We can watch the same movie on our tablet, and then we can resume it on our phone. And if we have the same product as our phone, we can switch it to the TV. So it's just like,
Well, that's and like people say, well, you can just record it on your TV. Yeah, but how long? People have been pirating movies since pirating movies was a thing.
yeah,
I don't know what to tell you. Like, you can't even like somehow Comcast and Netflix do it to where you can't screen record and watch something on your iPhone. So if somebody wants to sit here like this, turn on their phone camera and hold it like this perfectly straight for 4 hours to watch the Justice League Snyder cut,
Then
then
just
feel
give it to
free,
them.
man. Like, I don't understand. I mean,
Yeah.
now it's a felony. I think it's a felony now to
Yeah, it's a
illegally
I mean, it's
stream.
always been a felony to like do that, but
There was something with the last stimulus thing that they passed. They snuck it in there that, like, before it was frowned upon, you would get fined, and then, or it had that lame, when you had VHSs, you would always fast forward through the.
yeah, you can
Have
fast
you ever
forward through the
watched
like.
some of those like old commercials on
I was
VHS
like, do you remember
tapes?
those old commercials where it was like the grungy and it's like, you wouldn't steal from your grandma,
Yeah.
you wouldn't do this, you wouldn't take money from an orphan, and it's like, but that's what happens when you pirate movies,
It's like, bitch, I would totally take money from an orphan.
and it's
That's
just
where you're
like,
wrong. Who's gonna come after me? They don't have any parents.
it's just like my. I wouldn't take money from my grandma. I would take money from, but I would, yeah, I'd probably pirate the movie because you guys make so much money.
That's
It's
that's the funny thing of.
And it's just like my siblings already pirate illegal movies. Every time they tell me the website, I'm like, nope, la 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 la. I don't do that because I don't want to get in trouble.
Right when
That's
they tell you, you go, "Would you steal from your grandma?"
just send in the commercial. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know, Uncle Sam. He's a weird bitch. He won't prosecute people that kill other people, but he will prosecute you if you don't give him money every year, and if you pirate movies, he will
that
just
that's
stick
what
a
he
stick
frowns
so
upon.
far up your ass. It's just like, I don't know. I just don't understand it.
I don't
But
understand it
yeah,
either.
that's the
Mainly
reason why I don't
because of
want to.
stuff like
And
that.
I'm
I
like, I
mean,
don't, because they will literally hold you for like the 2 to 10 years or whatever it is, plus the $250,000
yeah,
fine. Every time I hear people that do it, it's like, yeah, they got slapped with that and then that. It's not one or the other, or like,
I
this is
believe
your first
that
offense.
before it was if you copied a movie and they updated this to say streaming because streaming wasn't
Yeah.
a thing. And then people were illegally streaming. I still don't know how you're going to catch someone. VPNs are a thing. Who doesn't have a
Yeah.
VPN that does that kind of stuff? If you're doing that kind of stuff and you don't have a VPN, you
You
deserve to get
deserve to
caught.
get it.
I don't
Yeah.
know what to tell you. Everybody uses a
That's what
VPN.
happened. Yeah. So it's just like, tough shit.
Like there, I mean, people share like sites and stuff like that, but most of those sites I've heard, you even need a VPN to even launch the site. Like the site will not launch on your browser without a VPN active. And it's like, so yeah, if you don't use a VPN, you get caught. That's your fault. But if you um, do watch the show, get the $130 box. It'll be chef's
Yeah,
kiss.
let us know. We'll have you on the air and we can pick your brain if the Jitters coffee. It'd be fun if it says Jitters, but there's like a sticker you peel off and it's just like the nitro cold brew from Starbucks.
That'd be so
Just a
funny.
little thing like that.
This
But
would
yeah,
be
I
a
mean,
really
it's just,
fun thing if there wasn't COVID for both of us to pay $70.
yeah, I would go halfies on it with you and we can get it.
Then
And
we
just,
both watch the show.
yeah. I mean, I want them to have something else in there. I can't justify spending that much money on that
On
if it
just
doesn't come with
on food
like
for like I can understand what's the most you've ever spent at a dinner
the
with
most we
just you
spent.
with just you and Jess, just you and your wife.
I think the most we spent was just over 200, but we went to an actual like really nice
Yeah.
steakhouse for our anniversary.
No, that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
you paid for whatever you paid for at that restaurant because it was fresh, made,
Yeah.
the chef was amazing, tasted great. It was a shame you had to shit. So
Yes, it was.
that so it's they're like that makes of a okay, this is over half that and it comes to you cold and you have to heat it up and assemble it. This is why I didn't like Papa Murphy's. It started there and now it's
Papa
here.
Murphy's, you fucked us so hard.
Well, I mean, it's like when people go to Subway when they have things to make sandwiches here. Why? That's why I don't like Subway. I'd rather
Yeah,
go to.
I don't.
If I have
Jessica
the
loves
choice
it.
between Subway and McDonald's, I understand Subway's healthier. I'll just suck it up and like buy a bushel of bananas from the store, eat a banana, and wait till I get home to make a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Because now we find Subway doesn't even have real tuna in their tuna. So is it really that much healthier than the
Yeah, I don't.
mystery meat that McDonald's gets past somehow?
Yeah, like honestly, I think the healthiest thing at Subway is their vegan sandwich, and I know it's a thing because I had it before. It's literally like all the vegetables on two pieces of bread. And if you want to be like ultra health conscious, they have like the shitty herb oat bread that has all kinds of nuts and shit
If
on
you
it.
want to be really health conscious, they take two of the biggest romaine lettuces and stuff
They
all
just
the stuff in
fold it.
between the.
That's our hippie burrito. But yeah, I mean, it was. I just don't get it. Jessica loves it, and one time we got into a fight about it because that's when I worked at Blimpie. I'm like, Blimpie was a better. They made better sandwiches. They had
They
the
did.
reason why they went out of business is because they didn't charge enough for what they should have. Like
That's true.
the meat, they used actual like meat and stuff when they would slice it and stuff like that instead of having everything in like the pre-made pouches. That's why when you go to Subway, you can like see the meat and like the little pouches. They just pick the slices out, and even then they're like, "Wait, you inject water into your meats so
Yeah,
you get more?"
it's like,
And it's just
oh,
like,
so it's like whenever people say, like whenever you go to a restaurant and it's a quarter pound pre-cooked.
yeah, it's just
It's like
like,
you fucking bitch, you
yeah. I'm like
got me.
the only time I go out and buy a sandwich like that is if I go to Toasters or like Caputo's in Salt Lake, and
Like,
those are the only
but that's
times.
what I mean. Of like, if you're gonna go get a Philly cheesesteak, okay, you can get that because chances are you're not gonna have the stuff
Yeah,
here or the means to make it correctly. Like, of course you could just like put it on your pan, but it's not gonna taste the same.
no, it's not the
So,
same.
but like if you go to like Toasters where it's not very many people have that kind of bread, a panini press, and like Toasters also does specialty sandwiches. So it's like I'm not going to carry oil and vinegar for my sandwiches
Yeah, who
to
does
go
that?
on a
No,
panini.
yeah,
I don't make paninis, but if you're going to go to Subway for a 6-inch cold cut, just put some slices of turkey on your keto bread. You fuck.
that's true. I don't get it.
I don't get that passionate about a lot of things. When it comes to this, there
But
is
when it
still.
comes to choosing to eat Subway, I have a thing I can tell you about not eating there.
So apparently there is still 3 Blimpies left in Utah. Only
Continental
one of them
US.
in northern Utah. Can you guess where it is? And no, it's not some weird city like it's in Brigham, so you're never going to guess it. You would be able to guess this city. It's in northern Utah, north of where you are.
Ogden.
Yes.
I was like
Congratulations.
Ogden or like Logan. Where is it at?
It's in Ogden, Utah on 21st Street.
Okay. Yeah, no.
So I don't know anything about Ogden. They are stupid and use half grid system, half dead presidents. That's fair.
For
That
our
makes
Ogden
sense.
listeners, I'm not a part of. I like Ogden. But
I
I
never
know where
said
it's
I
at.
don't like them. I
I
said
like.
your city grid is stupid. Or you can go to Eden, Idaho.
I'm like Eden, Utah, but you just said Idaho. Eden, Utah is like farther north of like Ogden, like
No.
going
So
up the
there's
canyon.
one in Hurricane, as people say, and one in Green River, which apparently is on the way to Grand Junction.
I'm like Green River. Is that like southern Utah?
That's south. What would that be?
Is it? Are
Southeast.
those ones actual restaurants, or are they like the ones that are mixed with like a gas station or
Would you
like
like me to call them and find out?
yes on air? Hello, welcome
I
to
assume
Soul
that-
Talk.
I
I am
assume
part one of
they
the
are.
co-hosts.
I assume they are really because not very many places are actually standalone like sandwich shops anymore. It does make more because Burger King does it, so why shouldn't Subway and all that? I get it.
Yeah.
I don't even know how we got to talking about Blimpie. But anyway, so if you try that
If you try the
the
$130
HelloFresh
night or
box,
meal, let us know.
if it was like 100, I would seriously debate about
If
it.
it came with other things, like when you buy like a special edition game, it comes with like a metal case and it comes with like a cover book,
the
like the
box.
concept art and stuff like that.
You get the box.
I don't just want the fucking box.
Fine then, feed yourself.
I will.
It
And I'll
comes
keep
with
the $130
Icelandic
in my.
cod.
I can get fish sticks that from the grocery store that what's it? Is it Skipper? The guy in the yellow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they make an Icelandic cod fish
What is
stick.
your favorite type of French fry? keep in mind before you answer, wedge counts. And
Wedge like a
what's
potato log, or like wedge like a
wedge like a
orange
potato
slice
log?
wedge? Okay.
So those count. So I mean, like that steak fry, curly fry, shoestring, regular, crinkle cut, fucking a scallop. I'll give you
I would count a scallop as a fry because it's like
a
crunchy.
seasoned curly fry is different than a regular curly fry.
I would go with a Belgian cut French fry. They're like a crispier version of the McDonald's fries.
I would go with waffle fry.
That's fair. Why do you ask? I
I
was
was
just
just we were talking because
oh
fish and chips. It
yeah,
comes
I was
with
just
it comes with
oh,
Icelandic beer battered cod and then fries.
oh
So
yeah. I mean,
can I
I like
request?
waffle fries. The hard part about fries is like you need to eat them when you get them,
Oh yeah, yeah. I figured that out when I tried to get
but it's just
Wingstop last time. I got fries for one of the sides, and their fries are normally because they do the in and out thing where
oh
they
yeah.
cook them right away, but then they put them in a styrofoam container, so all that heat just like
So it just gets them
soggies
all
up the
soggy and
fry.
shit. Yeah, just
Yeah.
like yeah. So for the longest time, there's a place in Salt Lake by Caputo's it's literally right next to Caputo's. They make the best Belgian waffle. It's like some
I've seen
Belgian.
that place. Yeah, I've never
If you
eaten
go
there.
there, seriously, their Belgian waffles are amazing. I get it, just like the traditional ones, like a Belgian waffle with syrup on it or something like that, or their fries. They're the
I'm not
best
exactly
waffles
sure
ever.
what I mean, the only difference between a waffle and a pancake is the way it's cooked, right? I mean, like the design, and it's obviously more batter, right? It's just a
Mhm.
fat pancake.
It's a crispy pancake.
Well,
I like
pancakes are
them
supposed to
crispy.
be. You can make a. Can you make your pancake crispy?
I can have it like a soft crunch on it, but I like that waffles have I like crunch
That's
as a
fair.
texture.
They're like thinner, so they get that
Yeah.
crisp all around it. I understand what you're saying. So a pancake is just a waffle without a corset.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I've been doing that a lot. I compare things to other things.
Compare two random things to two other random
Like
things.
we were talking on our COD session yesterday, and we were saying what all soft tacos are just burritos that are lying to you. Think about it. What's a burrito, right? What's a soft taco? It's a smaller burrito. You got played.
I got played and I paid more for this bitch.
I mean, what's a fajita? It's just a dissembled burrito. I don't know why are we playing these games with these words.
Don't mess with my brain, Matt.
I mean, all a ravioli is just a wet calzone.
Gross. I don't really eat ravioli that
I don't like
much.
raviolis because you know when you're doing dishes and you have to like pre-wash them kind of before you put them in the dishwasher to get like all the food off and stuff. And if it's stuff that like is too big to go in the garbage disposal, you have to like scoop it up to the side and pick it up. That's what a ravioli is like to me.
That's
It's the
why I don't
same
like touching
texture.
artichoke hearts.
It's
They're
the
all
same.
smushy.
Ugh,
Yeah, I don't
ugh.
like mushy
Artichoke
texture.
hearts are nature's ravioli. So
Ew.
I thought that people hated J.K. Rowling. Like people like her
Um,
and then they hate her and then they like her because she turns somebody gay and then she says something and then everybody hates her again.
yeah, they flip flop, flip
People
flop.
waffle on her.
I was like they Michael Scott flip flop flip flop. But or what do you say? Snip snap snip snap. But it's just yeah, I don't have anything against her. I mean, it's cool that she came with Harry Potter. I know it's a global phenomenon. I'm really not the targeted audience for that kind of stuff. Jessica loves it. Lots of people I know love it. I went to the parks. The parks were cool. Like she did a
Parks
great
are cool.
job on like helping like create her vision into life and stuff like that. But it's just like it's cool. That's and then she said like, oh okay, that's cool. That what's his name? Dumbledore's gay. I guess that's cool. I'm indifferent. And then she's like, but then this happens and then this is against it. And they're just like, oh my God, get your pitchforks. And then like, oh, she's a billionaire. That's amazing. but she's no longer a billionaire because she donated her money to homeless people. Oh my God, we love her. And then she does something else. It's like, grab your pitchforks. So it's just like
Yeah, it's. I mean,
this weird,
it's this weird. Yeah, this weird
this
flip
weird
flop.
cancel culture, but also like everyone is just so sensitive about every. I mean, I'm not condoning what she said because I don't know everything she said, but it's just like she is entitled to her own opinion, even if it is stupid. But you, I feel like they don't distance them. They don't think of her as something separate than Harry Potter, and I think that's maybe why people get so like heated over it and stuff. So I don't. I could be completely wrong.
So essentially, she's she's saying that she's always hated cancel culture, and she hates that people are. She said this isn't all she said, but she really just said that she hates cancel culture and she doesn't like that people tiptoe around certain topics. Like when you talk about the president signing into law that you can be a trans male to female and compete in male sports or female sports. So, say you are 18 years old. You are now, you say you're female, you don't even have to cut it off or get
I'm
implants.
Antoinette.
Exactly. Like you could just say you're Antoinette and then get a scholarship to a college to play against females. And most people would say that doesn't make much sense. And she's saying she doesn't like that that topic is so heated because it shouldn't be as heated as it is. And people didn't like her for that. And then she said other things, but then she makes a character gay. So she's not homophobic or transphobic because
Yeah.
it's the same kind of thing of why I feel Captain America wasn't that great. Captain America wasn't that great not because the lady who plays Captain America isn't a great actor. Brie Larson is she's a good actor. It's
Oh,
that
Captain Marvel.
that's what I meant. So
Okay.
it's not that was a Captain Marvel was bad because Brie Larson was forced on us. She was forced like Wonder Woman was good because everybody likes Wonder Woman. It was just a good movie. But Captain Marvel was like, you need a strong female lead in this universe, or it's not going to go anywhere. Boom, just cards fucking in. We had Black Widow; it was fucking fine. But then they decided at the last second to like, even her movie was like female empowerment. Boop. So
Yeah, I can kind of see that's what when I said the other day when I didn't like Incredibles 2, I felt like they were just trying to jump on the bandwagon of like,
yeah, and
oh,
but
we're not against it either. And we're not, I mean, I'm not against women empowerment, but it's just like we need to get a part of this and get our foot in first and do it first before other people say we didn't do it.
but
Because if
but
other people say we don't do it,
and that's
then they're gonna hate
and
us.
that's the thing. Like you shouldn't have. It's like when they say straight actors shouldn't play trans characters. Like Scarlett Johansson was going to play a character of a man who was transitioning to female, but they didn't like that. And then they say that
Yeah,
straight
I
people
honestly
shouldn't
don't.
play gay characters on TV, but Neil Patrick Harris was in How I Met Your Mother. That
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
make
like,
like it doesn't make sense. And then essentially J.K. Rowling saying like the last thing she came under fire for was saying she hates that it's so charged because she said something like close to that before of like even just saying if she were to just say I believe that if you're a biological male you can't just transition and play women's sports. It doesn't work that way. It's not fair. And then they'd be like, oh well, cancel them. So apparently she had a Harry Potter series that was gonna no one knows really when it was gonna take place time wise because Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, I believe, is before.
it's way before. It's like a
It's like in
hundred
the
years, I
yeah,
think,
it's like
or
the
something like
beginning of the
that.
1900s. So then Harry Potter would be like couple like 10, 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, because Dumbledore is like really young in that because he's played by Jude Law, and then he eventually like turns into the old decrepit dinosaur
Yeah,
that he
so
is.
it's so this nobody's sure when this HBO series even is gonna happen, because the problem that I read that they're running into is people are mad at her, so that's not gonna do well with, hey, we're gonna make this series. Oh, but everyone's mad at her. Guess we shouldn't make it then. That's the sad part. Because I would watch it if it was
I would watch
on
it.
HBO. Like, this is a bridge between. It's like if you were to take Lord of the Rings, but make
Yeah.
The Hobbit into a miniseries.
Yeah, I have nothing against. I would watch it if it was on HBO because HBO has had an awesome record so far, like with their writers and just like creating these movies like Band of Brothers, Lord of the Ring, or Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. What was that other one that has?
Like,
Is it Euphoria?
yeah,
That one's supposed to be like amazing. They have other movies. They have the True Detective seasons that are all just like really well written. So it's like it'd be awesome, especially if they focused what Marvel is doing now or what Disney's doing now with all the Star Wars universe and everything. They're no longer focusing on like the Skywalker lineage because that's already done. They're doing the Mandalorian, which takes place between this period and this period, and they're doing the other one where it's like it's still in the same universe, but it's not revolving around Harry, Hermione, and
yeah,
what's
because
his
it's
name?
like they already told that story in
Yeah, they told it.
7
It's already
movies.
done. You don't
So
want to.
it's
You don't want to see it all over again. But it's
exactly.
like, yeah, because Jessica said that there's like so many things that they can like focus on.
Well, it's
Not
like
not
Star
on this,
Wars
but it's just it's just like there's all these like sub things in Harry Potter universe that I
that
don't know
that
about,
they can
but she
expand
knows
on
about.
and
Yeah,
that people would like to see.
yeah,
Especially like, okay, well, you could just get HBO Max and do that, because it's like people do that with Netflix. I mean,
yeah.
like
Because I'm like, I feel like that's
Netflix
probably the
try
way
like
things
with
are gonna go
Stranger
for a while.
Things.
Yeah.
So it's
So it's
like
just
they'll pay your $15 a month to watch the series, or
yeah,
to watch, like, if not the series, they'll do it like to watch the season, so you'll get your money back that way. But so she also keeps coming out with like little manifestos, like explaining things further into detail. So
yes. Jessica, it's got a
she's
couple
kind
of
of
those.
like putting them in corners in terms of like, if they were to say this is going to go on simultaneously with the second Fantastic Beasts and before the first Harry Potter,
Yeah,
but then she writes something in the story or like in a manifesto that's like, oh, well, we can't have it during that period because now this happened.
yeah. Because I didn't even know that was a thing, and then Jessica asked for him a couple of times or the last few years for Christmas. Every year they make like a new Harry Potter book that's like an illustrated,
Yes.
and those are really cool. And I'm like, okay, we can get one of those. So I buy her those. But she also there's like that Broadway show or whatever she made. I don't know what it was called.
Life of a
Uh,
Salesman or Death of a Salesman. Rent.
I don't know. J.K. Rowling made some kind of Harry Potter
Jesus
like
Christ Superstar.
something, not that. But and then she's also done like the Fantastic Beasts, Where to Find Him, and she also did. We got this other one for her that it ended up being like a cookbook, I think, actually, and we thought it was like a thing, like a further lore into the universe, but it was just like I don't know. We might have pretty much everything. I don't know yet. There's so yeah.
Um, I I've always wanted to get super into it. I've never read the books, but I hear they're really good reads. However, I have a hard time sitting and reading.
I
Like,
have a hard time sitting and reading, but I'm also dyslexic, so it makes it very difficult to like sit and read. If it's
see,
like a
I
comic
don't
book,
have the
I'm
benefit of
okay.
having that excuse. My thing is like, it's. I hate to say it's. I hate to say it's like a lack of self discipline, because I'm a very disciplined person in every other aspect of my life, except for I can't. I just can't. I just can't
Yeah, I don't.
read.
Yeah, even
It's
before, it's just like I don't
like
see the point of just like sitting snuggling into a nice corner with my coffee and my feet covered in a blanket, and it's preferably raining outside, and I'm just snuggled
and
into my
some
good
people
book.
love that shit.
Yeah,
Like
and I
they
Jessica does that.
don't touch their phone. They
Yeah,
don't pay attention to anything on the outside world. They're zoned into reading. And I'm like, I've recently found when like I've recently found that I'll be on my computer here on Eduardo writing for the D&D pod. I'll be looking at TikToks in between, like I'll write a couple sentences, and then while I'm scrolling through TikTok, thinking about what I'm going to write next to
Yeah.
play through the story in my head. And then also side watching whatever's playing on my TV. So
Yeah, I'm just like I
I'm
need to
like,
do all these other things, but yeah,
but
I don't.
it's not even like I'm ADD, because when it comes to something that I want, like when we play video games, I'm no problem focusing. Or when I'm like when we're playing D&D, no problem focusing. Or if there's something interesting on TV I want to watch, if it's a movie, no problem focusing. Like I watched Conor McGregor's documentary on Netflix.
It was really good. I watched it like forever ago. But it was really good.
I mean, I was super sad that he lost against Poirier. Not surprising, because they first fought like 7 years ago. And then
Yeah.
Poirier made him just,
Did you see that he like fucked up his leg and he's not? They said he's like legally decrepit for like 180 days or whatever it is because of like the wicked leg chop. And then there's this YouTube off topic, but there's this YouTube person he's like a doctor that analyzes sports injuries like when they happen, and he was talking about like what it could possibly be. And I guess there's some kind of weird nerve behind your leg where he got kicked like behind your kneecap, and he must have kicked it just right. 'Cause he's like, if
those
you
calf. I've never been kicked in the calf, but I
I
hear
haven't, but
that it is the worst kind of pain that you
oh, it
can
is.
like. It's worse to be kicked in the calf than in the thigh meat.
Yeah, I'm like, I would probably rather get kicked in the shin than kicked in the thigh
Well,
or
I
like
mean,
just that area because
his
it's
issue is when he wasn't checking the kicks to start, and when he was checking them, you're supposed to, it hurts, but you're supposed to turn so shin matches shin, and
yeah.
he was only moving halfway, so it would still catch it right on the
Yeah, it's
meat.
just like
That
because I've seen
goose
Joe
meat
Rogan
right
like
there.
leg kick his giant like punching bag things, and it punching bags are heavy and he kicks it and it's just like
And I mean, so the thing with calf kicks is if it kicks your thigh, it has a lot of muscle to spread that
yeah.
inflammation to. Or if you kick your hamstring, that's a good sized muscle to spread the inflammation to. When it comes to your calf, there's only tendons connecting that part of your
Yeah.
leg to the upper part of your leg. So you have just that little bit of muscle that just gets inflamed, and the more it gets kicked, the more. That's why, I mean, just getting kicked in the calf
Yeah, they're
sounds
just
like
getting
that. If I get in a fight, I'm kicking somebody in the calf, because the chance that they're going to check it is very slim,
yeah,
and
it's
I
just
hear it hurts like a bitch.
oh, it probably hurts like a bitch, but also it's just like if you when you're in a fight, you're using all of your limbs, especially MMA, but it's just like if your leg is immobilized, they're gonna take advantage of it by continuously like hitting your leg, and then when you put your hands down to protect your leg, they're gonna hit you in the head.
Well,
So
that's
it's
my
just
thing
like,
with like street fights, like you see
and
like
you
on
putting weight
World
on it,
Star. Yeah,
yeah,
well, like in World Star, they're always like putting your dukes up. I'm like,
yeah,
that's not how this is gonna work. You wanted to fight me. It's
yeah,
just I have it planned out. It's gonna be they're gonna be all like dukes up, and I'm just gonna one swift kick right to the either thigh meat or calf, and then just all you gotta do is tackle them from there. That's all you gotta do.
yeah. It's just like watching. I was watching the clips of that, and it's just
I
like,
wanted to get into
ugh.
Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. There's a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu gym by my house.
I would too
If you,
because it doesn't take. From what I've seen and stuff like that, it's like the best way to like stay in shape because it uses like the
yeah,
grappling and stuff like that. But also it's like one of the ones that takes the least amount of time to do because you can always practice like your sparring with people, and then it's easier from what I've seen to like go up in rank.
yeah.
Not that it's like
Not that it's
easier,
easy, but
not it's easier,
it's
but
easier
like
on your body too, because you're not
yeah,
actually punching. But the reason I don't want to also like I want to, but the reason I can't, I should say, is because their hours are weird. It's like you can go early morning from like 6 to 8, midday from like 1 to 3, and then like every other night from like 6 to 9.
yeah,
And
those
I'm
are
like,
weird
I
hours.
understand, because like to do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, you need to have somebody else there.
Yeah.
But like, who actually has time to do that if you don't have a 9 to 5? Like if you have a 9 to 5,
Yeah,
you
if
could just
you
do like, yeah, I do it twice a day. I do it in the morning and then I do it at night, and then that's
yeah.
my exercise. But I'm like, I don't have that.
Yeah, like most people don't have that. I was just like,
Like I'm not going
I
to pay.
don't think there's
It's
anything
like
like
two
that
hundred and
around.
fifty dollars a month. It makes sense that it's
Yeah,
that
it's
expensive.
ridiculously
Like,
expensive,
but
but it's
that makes
just
sense that it's that expensive because you're paying somebody who's very experienced
yeah, you're paying
to
someone that's
do that.
probably a black belt in it, teaching you how to do it, and then you're
Exactly.
using
And
their facility, so it makes
exactly. So
sense.
it's like, and that's how he makes his living. And there's
Yeah,
only like 8 other people there. So he needs to make his living somehow. I
yeah,
understand that part. What I don't understand is I'm like, okay, but then if it's like a weekend, I can't just like go whenever. You have to go in classes. That's why I don't do
yeah,
studio classes at my current gym, is because I'm like, okay, but what if I want to sleep in, but I want to go to the gym later? Well, you can't go to the class then. It doesn't work that way.
yeah. I'm just like, well, I want the teacher to just be there, powered down until I get there. Then he just
I wanted to be like
hello, man.
Marvin in Apex, just fucking chill until I push F and he gives
Yeah,
me loot.
till I push
Um,
square and he just opens up and be like, hey, what's up, bitches? But yeah, I don't.
that's
Yeah,
what
I
that's what I want. But um, that Netflix thing about Conor McGregor was very good. It was very good in showing that like how he was, like everyone always thought that he was very pompous and just a giant douche. He's actually a very nice
no,
guy.
he seems like a great person that does like a lot of things. I mean, the whole country of Ireland loves him.
I mean, like
So
it just seemed like I mean, it's obviously a persona. It was to get those sales, and then now that he got those sales, it was like now he's like, oh, okay. I mean, even like
yeah,
if you've seen the footage of after he lost to Dustin Poirier, like he was very gracious. He's always been
yeah.
gracious in his defeat, though. Even when he lost to Nate Diaz and then
Hmm.
beat him in unanimous decision the next fight, but he's always been a good loser. So
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
think he should have fought Dustin Poirier so soon because he's the number 2 in the world, and he
yeah,
just beat Cowboy, who was Cowboy's good, top 10 to 20, but he went from like number 15 to number 2. And it's like, dude,
yeah.
you haven't done this in such a long time. You've been
Yeah, you took a
boxing,
year off. So much changes, not just like fighting wise. I mean, fighting stays the same, but it's just
and he's 35.
your body isn't used to it. That's the reason why he lost the boxing match, is because he thought he could do it, but boxing is a completely different realm of fighting, despite what it looks like, how easy it looks to him. But it was just like, if you take a year off, dude, even if you are just like sparring and stuff like that, you guys are like full contact, or the guy is just walking around like the fucking Michelin man, and then McGregor's just constantly kicking him. It's just like, okay, but the Michelin man's not kicking back. He's just like, ow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean it. I hope that he fights again, but I think he should work the rust off, and he should have done at least one more warm up, like a tune up fight. That's a challenge,
Yeah.
but not so
Yeah, he shouldn't have.
like this like the
He
same
had
Cowboy
everything to
level
lose
or
and he
more.
lost it.
Well, the problem is he dominated Cowboy so hard that he didn't get to work. Like
Yeah.
he didn't get to shake the rust off. He just beat his ass in 10 seconds. And then it was like, okay, well that's awesome that he won. That's totally
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, I
But
feel like it's just
your
one of those.
ring rust.
He's probably just like, yeah, I'm going to practice, but I'm not going to go like full ham
It's
because
hard when you have $100 million in the
I did
bank.
so good the first last match. I barely,
Well, it's because I mean
Mhm.
he has proper 12 and
yeah.
he has I believe he has his own like equipment and stuff like that. It'd be crazy if
Oh
he
yeah, he
didn't.
probably does. He probably is sponsor, or he probably has his own equipment, whether it's
So
Adidas or Nike or like the
and he has his own
UFC
entertainment
type of thing.
company. So
Yeah,
it's
and
like
he has his face is on the UFC, the
yeah.
gaming thing.
So it's
So it's
like
like,
it's hard to say like he has as much to gain because it's like okay, you stay at the top. That's all you have to gain.
yeah, I'm like, nah,
You
he
already
should have
have two
just,
belts. You were the first person to hold two belts at the same time.
yeah, he should have just like left it and swam with the bears like
I feel like the
that
problem
one
is that's just
Russian.
boring. To where like
Yeah,
that's how you could tell he's a real athlete is because rather than doing that, he just said, "I'm gonna get back and do it." He's like, because I miss being competitive. I already have the money and
yeah, I can
everything.
see the
I mean, I
like
hate
missing the
his stupid
competitive. It's
million
just
dollar
like
watch. That thing was so stupid.
I would break it, and not just like break it because I could, but just like the bubble dome. The reason why I stopped wearing watches is like because all the jobs I had are warehouse ones, but when I had a warehouse or like jobs like that, I would have a watch on because I didn't want to have my phone. The glass was always scratched or cracked
Yeah,
because I'm swinging and moving and stuff like this, and just I guess I swing my arms a lot or something like that. I don't know, but
something
like
random.
yeah, some random shit like that. But with that bubble dome top, I would just swing it against the just a rail on accident going up the stairs and just crack it and be like, well, that's about $80,000 I have to pick up.
That's true.
I'm
That's
not
true.
gonna pick that up.
So if I were to tell you that I have a PS5, if you can pay me more than ticket price, how much more are you willing to pay over ticket price for a PS5 stock, not bundle or anything? So it comes no game, the one controller, the system, say the disc one, so $500. How much more would you be willing to spend over 500 for just the system?
$30 to $50.
You're not getting dick then, man.
I know. That's the
So
reason why I'm like, I don't. Mm-mm.
it's really not. I mean, I was anxious to get it too, and I probably would have if they would have had an abundance of them. I probably would have bought one just to fucking look at it. Um, so so somehow in the UK, these companies still don't know what they're doing, or maybe it was a Best Buy, a Target, whatever their equivalent is over there. So somehow scalpers got their hands on 2,000 units. So they have 2,000 PS5s. Yes, 2,000 PS5s. No one knows how it happened. They just know they realized, oh shit, this is all going to this place. And they already sold it, took the money. So
Yeah.
it's estimated that scalpers have made over $50 million from just these next gen consoles. So I'm not sure if that includes the graphics cards as well, because they're running into the same thing with the 30,
Yeah.
70, 80, and 90s.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that includes that, but let's say even including that, it's still amazing to make. So scalpers cumulatively have made $50 million
Yeah. They literally didn't have to
over.
work. Yeah. That's not something they work. They just literally paid same price, but then sold it at a profit.
Yes. So most of them have been selling almost double or sometimes higher than that. So if they get it for 500, they're selling it for 1,000. But a lot, like they've noticed, a lot more people are selling it for even over 1,000 because supply and demand. Welcome to economics. And it's crazy that people are still buying them. That blows my mind. Of
I know.
like,
I don't.
rather than wait 4 to 5 months, just
Yeah.
just wait.
Even if what they're doing on Wall Street, if they did this for PlayStation and everything else, this would have just there's power in numbers. If no one bought the shit from the scalpers and if no one bought them from online realtors, they would freak out and they'd be like, we're sorry. We will figure out a way right now to fix this. And whether it's incorporating some way to just one per house or stuff like that. But that's what just it takes me off because it's like the UK stores, they don't care. They got their money and they purchased it legally. So it's like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was a weird fluke loophole thing. I mean, sometimes this stuff does happen. Like on Amazon, there's like you can buy this expensive camera for $200, and then the Amazon like will fulfill the order and stuff like that because of this random loophole. But it's just like they got through, they got it. You know, we're not losing any money from this, but also we are making money because it shows like we're moving more product faster than other people and stuff like that. It's like, okay, well, we sold 2,000 PlayStation 5s in under an hour.
Well, what
So
drives me crazy is rather than these video game companies just saying, "Hey, so we've noticed that this is happening and we don't have a good grip on this kind of stuff. What we're going to do is stop selling them for a month. Then we're going to
yeah, we
get
just
all we're going to pool all of them together and then release them all into the market. So rather
yeah,
than do so that way it's not a okay 2,000 we just made 2,000 these past week. We'll give it to this person. Then this scalper goes nope, and then
yeah,
he sells them. It's like okay, save it till you get like batches of hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands, 50s thousands, and then give them out. Don't just every time you make one ship it out. because that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
There's no way to enforce one per household if you're every time you make one, you just hot potato.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they just like, okay, well, due to COVID, all the production stuff like that, that's happening. That's fine. But like you said, just don't ship them out. You buy them exclusively through PlayStation and Xbox or Microsoft.com. But to buy them, you need to have an actual Xbox Live or PSN account to
That's what
purchase it.
that's what makes the most amount of sense is you don't need the hard part is those accounts are free to make. So it's like there are things like but nothing's perfect is the thing. So but that
Yeah,
would be
like
that would be the closest thing is
that would
like
be the easiest way that
if you
requires
know there's
this
a
amount of work.
shortage, send out a link like you said you were going to do and only let that link work once and only work. So essentially it's a giant waiting list. Like
Yeah.
when you go to Olive Garden, they give you the buzzer and then it buzzes when it's your turn. You hand it to the lady, she takes you to your seat. Except this would buzz, like send you an email saying, "Hey, you have 5 minutes."
Yeah.
And then if you're 5 minutes and you buy it in the you have 5 minutes to at least open the link, and then from there you have 24 hours. And if you open it within 5 minutes or order within 24 hours, you get your console. And if you sign up again, you're at the bottom of the list. That's what makes the most sense. Because then even if people scalp it, it's gonna take them a lot longer. They're gonna have to buy one by one by one by one.
That's true.
And then for every 10 a scalper gets, at least a regular person will sneak in there. So, but apparently this company Carnage, I believe that's where did their name? Yeah, Carnage, a scalper group based in the UK. They said that despite them having measures in place, it was relatively easy to get them.
Yeah, it's just like again, they're like they don't really care because it's not affecting them. That's why it's like if no one bought one, the scalpers would be shitting their pants because they're like, I have $20,000 worth of PlayStation 5s and no one's buying it.
Yeah.
And don't buy it from like PlayStation either. Everyone just collectively not do it until PlayStation like, okay, we have enough to like steady amounts of that we can just constantly push out and then buy it from the actual store instead of from them. And then they'll be like, how the fuck am I going to return all these PlayStation 5s?
Well, and like I have no problem if somebody wants to buy them and sell them for an extra 10, 20, 30, at most 50 more than they bought it. That's okay. That's how the world works.
Yeah, I'm like, I'd be okay with that. But
that's not what's happening.
Double or like 3 or 4 times. I'm like, dude, if you're going to pay like 15 to 2,000,
it's like that douche who bought all the hand sanitizer.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he got greedy and was charging $10 for the baby bottles. And then
they're like the tiny 98-cent ones.
Like, come on, man. If you would have charged an extra 50 cents on eBay, nobody would have had a problem.
Yeah, no one would have been involved in this. And you wouldn't be that dick that everyone knows about on Pandemic.
Exactly. So this is that, but this time nobody's doing anything about it, and people are still spending twice. They're paying 200% for
that's why I don't
for a next gen console.
Yeah, like I said, Jessica's boss traded her iPhone 11 Pro Max. It was the 512 gig one or something like that. You can already sell that thing for like maybe 15, at least $1,200 is what you can, like, if you need to sell it right now, 1,200. You can probably get it for 15. You can hold it and try to sell 15, but in the case has the screen protector on it. But she traded that phone to a scalper for a brand new next gen. I think she said it was a PS5. And it's like the regular disc version PS5. No game, no like bundle thing, 2 games and a controller, 2 games or like the webcam, just a console. And it's just like the scalper, she said, was like early 20s, maybe mid 20s max. And he's just like, he got a new phone from it. And it's just like,
paid $500 for a brand new.
I paid $500 for this, and I got a $1,200 phone.
It's worth it. What you do is then you call and say your phone was stolen and brick that bitch.
But yeah, it was just like shit like that, and he was just, I just don't get it. And same thing is just, I know other people that are like, hey, we can give it to you this, but you got to pay more for it. I'm like, I fucking know you.
Anytime
I
somebody
know you.
says, unless it's like something where it makes sense, like, oh yeah, I don't expect you to give this to me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't expect you to just give me the thing, or even if you like, if someone were to give me, like, if I wanted it, someone were to say, hey, so I want to give this to you, but this other guy wants to sell it, is going to sell it to me for 600. Would you mind if I charge you like an extra $20? So then I can get
Yeah.
like dinner or something.
Yeah. So I can make
I'd be like,
something like that.
yeah,
That
don't
was
sell it to
I'm fine
that
with.
fucking guy. I'll give you 520 for it.
Yeah. It was
But like,
like,
yeah, don't fuck me. You know me.
yeah. That's what I was so upset about. I'm like, I had a couple people was like, dude, you know me. Why would you treat me like,
Yeah. Or
oh,
like
I
if
was so
like
ticked about it.
it's like when people try to sell you a phone that they have. Like if I tried to sell you my iPhone XR and I say, oh yeah, give me $500 for this. It's like, I know you paid $600 for that phone and you're trying to fuck me right now.
Yeah. It was just like, no,
Like I
it's
understand
stupid.
you, like at least charge like only 100 something, man.
Yeah. Do
I
something, dumb
hate when
bitch.
people
Yeah. It
do
was
that. When
just,
you know people and you're like, I know that's worth close to what you're charging me and you've
yeah.
already had it.
Yeah, I'm like, I know you know who's gonna buy it. I don't know why you're trying to do this, but yeah, it's just Marco and Ashley actually found one in Ogden that I was super excited and I was gonna buy it, but it was the bundled version, so it came with another controller and two games, but it was like $875, which that's what it cost if you buy another controller and two
Yeah.
games because they're about
It's not
$70 for
the
everything.
like bundle it to lower the price. It's the we'll include the prices for you.
Yeah, we'll do it for you, and you could pick your two games, but it was just like I didn't have $900 to buy that at the time because like I said, I've been doing house renovation since I can't afford or since I couldn't find a PlayStation. And then it's like, if only I would have known about a day before, I could have bought it. But I paid down more of my credit cards and was trying to be a responsible adult.
That's where you messed up.
It is. It is.
What's your favorite renovation you've done on your house?
Um, I painted the downstairs bathroom. It's I could send I'll send you a picture of it afterwards, but it's like the back of my iPhone color now, purely coincidental. I really like Pacific
You just
Northwest
showed them, I
colors.
want this.
Actually, we were just going randomly picking stuff, and I'm like, I really like Pacific Northwest colors. Like, are just I love those colors. And we picked out a blue, and I'm like, after I got done painting, I pulled up my phone, and I'm like, this is the same color as my phone. Weird. I'm not that big of a fanboy, but this is a really cool color. But chalkboard wall on the stairs is what I love, even though I don't use it.
My
And
problem
the
is
girls are
I
Amelia ate all the chalk.
oh Jesus.
I know. So if she has chalky shits for like the next 2 weeks, I'll know why.
Oh Lord. So there is a couple things here. Let me. So I originally had this whole plan with my dinner of making food because I ate panda 2 days ago, right? When we played video games.
Yes.
Was it 2 days ago or was it? Yes, it must have been 2 days ago. It had to have been because I
Yes.
had
That
chicken wings
sounds about
yesterday.
right. Yeah.
So I had panda. I'm like, okay, that'll just be because I order out once a week. So I'm like, oh, that's fine. I'll just have that for my order out. And then what do you know? Like things happen where we had to push the recording back today. So I don't have enough time to go to Target because I had to return some shorts that are too small that were a Christmas gift. And I was like, oh, I'll just get my weekly groceries from there. So I don't have anything really to cook unless I want chicken wings again. But even then, I don't have freaking ranch. You believe that? Somebody here drinks it by the quart.
What is your favorite ranch?
Buttermilk.
What kind of brand? Like,
Probably anything that's a step over Hidden Valley. So as long as it's like, because Hidden Valley is like $2 around there. Anything above a $2 that's a buttermilk is gonna be like they use heavy cream in that bitch. It's super terrible for you. Don't get me wrong.
yeah, I don't really
Salad,
eat.
for salad, I prefer a vinaigrette because it's just lower in calorie. But when I have
For
chicken
Caesar.
wings, I don't I don't mess around with my chicken wings, except for I had to eat them without ranch the other day. So yesterday, so upsetting. You ever had a chicken wing without ranch?
Yes, I'm not a big fan of ranch except for the pie. The pie makes a really good ranch for
See,
me.
I ordered Wingstop today because I don't have enough time and I want big chicken nuggies. So I got Wingstop. Their ranch is the freaking best, and I've never had the pies. You say it's good, so I assume it's good. And anywhere that makes it in house, great ranch. It's it's gonna
Yeah.
be a great ranch. Just like
Yeah, I was just wondering
you
because
can never
we got
buy it. Like you can
yeah
never
we
buy
got
like
pizza the other day, and it was just like the pizza place that we got. I mean, the pizza place we got pizza. The Domino's Pizza. They had ranch, and it was better than Hidden Valley's ranch. And I'm like, why? You think Hidden Valley would be better because it's like,
just mass produced. Yeah,
yeah,
it's when
and
it
it's
when
like this little cup, and
I
I'm just like,
buy the state Hidden Valley because she like drinks it, and well, it's just a white thing to drink ranch, I guess. I mean,
yeah, I don't.
I go through hot sauce like a
Yeah, I go through hot sauce
motherfucker.
like crazy. It's
Like
I
I
wish
had
there
to
was a
buy
way to make it like
Tapatio
a
like
tax
every
write
other
off.
week, like the
Yeah,
good
I
size Tapatio, like the $2 Tapatio. It's like fucking. I have to buy
yeah, I
that
buy
like
like the
every other
big one. I
week.
go through it all the time. I'm like,
See, like I drink that, but she drinks ranch.
yeah, I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't know.
I'll stick with my high blood pressure. But so when you the funny thing about iPhones is so there's a new report that says tech giant Apple is warning iPhone users to keep their device 6 inches away from their heart if they have anything that aids their heartbeat. So whether it's what do they call it,
A pacer.
a pacer or the other one that like does is the pacer the one that shocks your heart?
Yeah, the pacer is what keeps your heart together, like it keeps it. But if it goes out of beat, it shocks it
I feel like there's
into
another one
rhythm.
that goes, but anyway, so like if you have a pacer or something similar to it in your heart, you're not supposed to keep or put any Apple products near it, which is such a random problem to have as a human. Like our
It
technology is
is.
so advanced that the magnets in them might mess up and give you a heart attack
It
accidentally.
might fail your heart saving device, but I think there is some silver lining because a lot of, for the most part, it's older people that have like the the stents and like paces and shit like that in their chest. They don't really have smartphones that do that kind of stuff. Just from what I've seen and just in that just realm. But I felt like that was already common knowledge. Like you shouldn't be using magnets around things that are like,
They've th- I
because I feel
so
like when you get like a heart surgery, they tell you like a giant
yeah.
list of things to not have and like overexert yourself because you'll kill yourself. But like especially magnets near you, it's just
Well, I feel like people just don't realize that that's how the IQ wireless works. Is
yeah.
it's a magnet that charges it, but people don't
Hmm.
like you wouldn't realize that, or like if you have an Apple Watch, it snaps to the
Yeah.
like it does the when you put it on the dock is because there's a magnet in there that's securing it. And I feel like I've heard this ever since I read a report that I want to say it was since the iPhone 6 that people have been skeptical of it because of like that's when they first started introducing like they would have like the stupid fucking cases that
Yeah.
had the you close it and it locks it automatically because it has a magnet in it. So people were like starting to get concerned with that, and then they introduced wireless with the 8, I believe. So
Yes.
I want to say like they should have said this then because it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the physical phone like telephone
That's not the
waves
fun
or
part itself.
like
It's just
microwaves making kids
yeah.
slow, that kind of stuff. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the magnet in the back that helps it click to the wireless charger. So I want to know like did they first realize because somebody like you know how old people sit when I'm gonna have to bring my mic with me. You know how old people sit when they do like the lean back and they put their like their hands on their stomach, like on their chest. Did somebody have like their phone there, and they were like having a
Yeah.
heart attack? And he's like, tell my kids I'm gonna miss them. And then he drops his phone and he's like, "Oh, that was weird."
Clear my search browser history. That was weird as shit.
And then he just stands back up and he's like, "I must have been my phone. There's only one way to
Yeah,
try."
I'm just waiting for Agent 47 to just walk by and just like put his phone on his chest and just, what are you doing?
What an
Stop.
interesting way to
You're
kill
hurting me.
somebody. It's like that riddle. There's a polar bear that hung himself in only a puddle of water on the floor. How do you do it? And it's like, oh, it was block of ice that melted. It's like, well, so he's a 70-year-old in the library. There was a telephone nearby. What happened? He used the mag strip to stop his pacemaker.
He had an iPhone 12 or newer, that just the newer, the
Colonel
new
Mustard,
wireless,
the library iPhone 12. It was a product
the
red.
new MagSafe from Apple is what did him dirty.
It's just yeah, it's just very crazy. So it says rhythmic devices such as the implantable defibrillator and cardiac resynchronization therapy defibrillators. That's a hard word. Defibrillator. I've never said that out loud except for in high school.
Defibrillator. I don't know.
Like I have to slow myself down to say it and think about what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was like the first time I seen one was at the Newgate Mall in Ogden, and we were just walking by it and I'm like defibrillator, and I'm like, I wonder how you use that, and I'm like, honestly, I bet there's not a wrong way to do it. I've seen enough movies and shows where it's just like one and left, one and right, done.
They have like so there's in one of my office towers, they have like now in big business towers, they have the AEDs, the automatic ones that keep shocking. So it's not like one large ka-chunk.
Yeah.
It's like it beats your heart for you until the paramedics get you, and then the paramedics can ka-chunk. And it said, if you break the case, an alarm will sound. And I was thinking to myself, can you think of what's the most stressful situation you can be in? Somebody is having a heart attack right in front of you, and you need to save them or they're going to die. Well, how can we make that worse? Well, I can tell you, this thing's gonna be screaming like a banshee while this poor old man's dying, talking about his love of his life that he's been married to for 50 years. He has great grandchildren.
Picture it being like the electronic equipment device that like when you touch it just right, it like goes off. It's like
yeah. Like I imagine it's like very, because it's alerting people around.
Yeah,
but
sorry, stressing you out because that's off. What if you get a heart attack and you're just like, oh, I'm so scared. And then you pass out on the dead guy and he dies because of the stupid thing.
You pass out and you accidentally stick yourself.
Yeah, you just fall. Oh, thank God. And then you get up and leave.
You just one for you, one for me. That bullshit.
We just hold hands and then I put one on your titty and one on mine and just.
That's how you share memories in the future.
There you go. That's how we have the same
put
heartbeat.
One on your head, put one on the other. That's how that works. But so if you know an old person, help an old person out and tell them not to keep their iPhone close to
their hand
within 6 inches, or if it's being used currently, at least a foot. So say I'm at my desk, my wireless tracking pad is charging. You have to be a foot away from it while it's in use. So that would have been nice to know.
Why the fuck do you have an iPhone? Because Pig Droid, we won't kill you.
What's even weirder is iPhone has so many aspects to help. Like the new Apple Watch has an EKG.
Yeah, it has the
has anybody thought about
and it has the
this?
O2 sensor in it, and it's just like we didn't even think about it killing people with all those things. And how ironic is that?
I know. I'm like, it's most ironic that the EKG tracks your heart and it can stop it
it's
accidentally.
Like this, and it's just like, I'm having a heart attack. Oh fuck!
Take my Apple products off while you're dying. And that, some like before they defibrillate him, they're gonna be like, "Does he have an Apple product on?"
Just slap it off of his chest and stuff like that, which is also weird because it's sucky. Because a big point of why seniors have iPhone and stuff is because it's so simple to use, and it's just like Droid is just too complicated for some just elderly people.
iPhone is the new what do they used to call those flip phones for old people? They were like a bug, something like a
jitterbug.
The jitterbug. iPhones are the jitterbug.
They're the jitterbugs of everything now.
but they're still awesome. So I did come up with a solution for your video game problem, your next console.
Mm-hmm.
So it's rumored that our good buddy Elon, who told me to buy Dogecoin, piece up, it's at 3 cents right now. If it gets back to 5, I'm gonna be up $80. $80. He's rumored to say that there's the newer Teslas, he's gonna put a system that's the equivalent to like 15 teraflops. What's the part of the system that uses teraflops in the consoles?
Just like the graphical power of it.
Yes. So the graphical power is going to be 15 teraflops. What's crazy is the PS5s are 16.
Yeah, it's going to be able to run Cyberpunk probably better than next gen.
What's funny is he recently got into Cyberpunk and he's been tweeting about it. So I don't doubt that's what influenced this, because now he says he wants to put this. The newer Teslas are going to have the same power to run next gen video games as a next gen console. So I have a solution for you. Buy a Tesla.
That would be awesome. I really like the new design of them.
I don't like the steering wheel.
I was just going to say, I hate the steering wheel because when I'm driving, I don't always have my hands like this. I usually have one hand rested on the steering wheel or both hands or whatever it is I'm doing. But if you chop off the top part of the steering wheel, I feel like you're just getting into an accident, because it's like
so like
when you turn the steering wheel, they teach you it's like, what is it, 10 and 3, and you're supposed to just constantly be doing that. But once you get to the bottom, it's just like,
well, yeah, because
there's no 11, 12 and 1.
You do the push you do the push pull, so you're constantly like turning the wheel. But this is like, maybe the turning radius is totally different, where like if you turn it all the way left, like you'll be like 90-degree turn.
Yeah.
But maybe that's as far as the wheels go. I've never driven a Tesla. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that they have all that cool shit in them. The steering wheel looks
like a controller, though, so
yeah,
that's pretty cool. But yeah, I hate the stupid bracket looking steering wheel. It probably like grow. I mean, it's nice because of the overhead display of this. Let me pull that back up. So
yeah, it's supposed to like
the overhead display looks awesome because where this little baby car is, it like tells you everything you need to know, your speed. If you have the autopilot set up, it shows you what cars are around, stuff like that. However, it's like, I just don't understand the turning of it because it's not rounded.
Yeah, I just don't understand the turning. I mean, it'd probably be better if it's on the bottom. I wouldn't be too upset about, because it's like even if you have to do a wide turn, you don't grab it from the bottom. You grab it from like the bottom edge, and you just like.
I do push pull since I drive those like huge package cars. Even in my RAV4, I'm just sitting there with a smaller wheel. I'm just like, move my heads faster, push pulling.
Do you have a suicide? What is it called? A suicide
knob?
Shit, I can't. Yeah, a suicide knob. Do you have a suicide knob?
I don't, and I'm afraid to like. I thought about getting one, because it's like when you have to turn a lot, it kind of hurts your hands.
Yeah,
because you're sitting there like pulling this way, and you have to pull the other way.
Yeah, it was just because my one friend had it, and he was like, "I love it, but they kind of tell us not to use it."
Yeah, I feel like if you get in an accident and you have one of those, then you can get in big trouble.
He said to like constantly unscrew it with a broken hand, just like.
That's what. So like you would have to do that, because if they saw it, they would probably take it off for you. If they saw it, like they would just take it off and not say anything to you. But I thought about getting one because that sounds awesome. But
yeah, I thought about it. I mean, I can't get it for mine. It's only for like commercial. It's what it's made for. But it was just like, there's something weird about buying something that says suicide for it to help you drive better.
The only thing that makes sense is a suicide clutch on a motorcycle, because you have to physically reach down and shift that bitch. Yeah. That makes sense to call it that.
Yeah. Because it's cool as shit, but also it seems very dangerous. Instead of just using your foot.
But it's also how you meet your maker.
Yeah. But I don't know. If you guys don't know, suicide knob just helps you turn.
Yeah,
when you're
it's
backing up
like
in
a
the
it's
shit.
like it looks like a door handle, like a regular doorknob, but it goes on your steering
Yeah.
wheel. So rather than having to grip and release the steering wheel while you're turning it, you just you just crank that like your Soldier Boy. You just and then you fucking whip.
And then
That's how you do this.
you whip it in while you're driving.
Hey, Porsche. So apparently the Teslas right now have 10 teraflops of processing power, so it almost can run
Yeah,
next
that's
gen
still
already.
so
So they're
impressive
talking about
that
upping that, and then because they have that 17-inch iPad freaking in the
yeah.
middle of it, so that would be awesome. All they need is a Tesla brand controller.
Yeah, I think
Perfection.
you can sync your I think it's just regular Bluetooth, so you can sync up
Yeah,
an
but I
Xbox
don't want to
controller.
have to bring my controller from inside to my car to
Just
inside.
keep it
You can
inside
include
the
it.
glove compartment.
Yeah, but then how am I going to play it on my
Then
console,
have
Tony?
two of them. You have a Tesla, you don't have to worry about that kind of
No,
shit.
I understand, but what I'm saying is I want it to have the Tesla symbol on the controller. I want it to
Oh,
be
I
a
bet
Tesla
Tesla
controller.
makes like a. I think. Can you still remove the face covers from Xbox controllers?
I
You know,
assume you
like with the
can.
360, you can
Yeah.
take like the front of it off and then put
I
like.
don't think that I don't think they make them to do that, but I imagine you can.
I'm pretty sure you can find somewhere on Etsy for
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's like with my Beats, you're not like the ear things aren't supposed to come off, but if you need to replace them, you can just take them
Yeah,
off. I can't imagine that the front plate of an Xbox controller can't just like be click click.
an alarm comes off.
Some guy comes in, puts the defibrillator on you. No, I have an
Don't die,
iPhone.
bitch! It's just my. I just taking the controller off. Oh, I'm sorry. I just you sounded like you were in need, and I had to help.
That's so the new Tesla Model S is going to have a plaid refreshed interior. I'm trying to pull up a picture of that, but it's not giving me any of that. It's just trying to
It
convince
just
me to
looks a
buy a
lot
Tesla.
nicer than it is now because
Yes.
Tesla, they are really great at some things, but interior design of the cars are shit, which is what people are upset because while you're paying $100,000 for a car that has the same interior as my 2006 Chevy Cobalt is kind of a slap to the face. Also,
Yes.
because the QA on them is just like kind of stupid how some things can go unnoticed to the point of them delivering it and then hey, I need you to fix it. Okay, we'll get right on it. And then months go by.
Oh, I see where my confusion is. So the Model S now starts at 80,000. They drop the price just for you, and that's before incentives. So if you own an electric car, you actually get incentives to buy it that the government pays like
Yeah.
10,000 or something. So you actually get it for a lot less than 80, like 65. But still, for what you're getting, 65 grand is a deal. Tesla got rid of the performance, so they stopped calling it performance, and they're calling it Plaid or Plaid Plus.
Platypus.
That's what I assume it is because we all know Elon. And
Well, I'm sad that it's no longer 69,420 for them. I
I know
really appreciated that.
that that'd have been great. Um, they're doing it so they have the dual motor all wheel or the tri motor, which is going to be the Plaid and Plaid Plus. So the Plaid Plus is going to be the ludicrous mode, 0 to 60 in like 2.3 or something.
Yeah, just like
Absolutely
going that
bonkers.
fast. Even the base model one that you're talking about, the 0 60 is probably still under like 5 seconds, which already is absurd and that's faster than most supercars already.
So
And
here,
it's just like and then the Roadster that's coming out eventually is going to be even
yeah,
faster than
whenever
the
that comes
newest one
out.
that's not even out yet. And it's just like,
This Plaid Plus is like if you have $130,000, what are you doing with your life? Buy one of these, because so the acceleration that's gonna have the ludicrous mode under 2 seconds for 0 to 60, absolutely insane, and then the range over 520 miles, the top speed 200. I mean that's fast enough, and then it has the tri motor all wheel, so just the fact that you get over 500 miles on that is absolutely
yeah, that's
it's
better
just
than my car. My car gets like almost 400 on a
yeah,
tank.
mine gets like 400 maybe.
Yeah, it's like
maybe. Yeah.
384-ish if I'm really
If I
conservative,
put
but
it
it's just
in
like,
eco mode and go slow
yeah.
all the time, that's what I started doing. It's freaking great. So yeah, so they confirmed that it's going to be uh start that's production is going to start in this quarter. So within these few months. So that's going to be absolutely dope.
Yeah, it's just so cool and shit like that. I'm like, man, I want one. And all the coolness that comes with it, and just the coolness of going fast. Because like under, what'd you say, under 3 seconds or 2 seconds
Under
for the
2 seconds. I mean, I
under
don't
two
know.
seconds for the Plaid Plus? Blink, and you blinking takes about like a half a second to a whole second. You would be blinking 2 times, and you would already be going 60 miles an hour.
I
It's
mean,
just
that's
like,
so
it's just absurd.
it says under, so the plaid is 1.99. It says the with the ludicrous is less than 1.99. So realistically, you could expect 1.5 to 1.99,
Yeah, it's just
which
like,
is like that doesn't make sense. It just
yeah, like
doesn't.
it's just so fast. It's
Like,
ridiculous.
yeah, so but the only issue is if you're getting the platypus, it's $140,000.
I ain't no bitch. I want the platypus plus,
Yeah.
the plusipus.
But yeah, if you guys get the HelloFresh box, let us know. We have our Dungeons and Dragons later tonight, which we live stream on my Twitch, Mattman SLC. So if you want to stop by, we had a couple people stop by. Nobody said anything because they're all lames. But if you want to stop by and watch that live, we do it every Saturday at 8 Mountain Time. So by the time you're hearing this, too late. You missed this week's episode. However, it drops on Wednesdays, and that podcast is Roll for Damage. So you can go ahead and head over there, rate, review, subscribe. Let us know how you're liking it. It's going to be our second session doing this.
What he said.
Very much what he said. And we'll be back with you guys next week to probably go down more rabbit holes. This was a very rabbit hole episode.
Yes, it was. It was just twists and turns.
Twists and turns. That's right. That's right. Well, then we'll talk to you guys next week.
Okay, goodbye.